It's Mr. President Stevie-O, and we are in the summer party. Although a lot of people are starting to go back to school slowly. And I've seen on social media plenty of posts where people just weren't happy with the last outcome of the festival playlist vote. A lot of people wanted to see Back to the 90s, and myself included. I did vote for Back to the 90s. But it doesn't really matter at this point, does it? Because that's set in stone. Thing is, though, with the new series, Summer Party, of course there is now a new festival playlist vote. And it's between Donut Media and German Automotive. First thing I want to do today is just ask, has everyone already voted? And if you did, how did you make your decision? Did you just look at the themes and say, oh yeah, Donut Media for sure? Or did you go and view the festival playlist history and look at what the rewards were? Which, by the way, is actually really not a good way to vote for the festival playlist, and I'm going to explain to you why. Or did you happen to research what the car rewards are actually going to be for German Automotive and Donut Media? Because that information is out there, but unfortunately they still don't have it just right there in the festival playlist vote screen, which I don't like, and I've talked about before, but it still has not changed. So you kind of have to look for the information if you want to find it, but I'm going to provide that information for you. And yes, I already did vote, and over 70% of viewers from stream agreed with me. And of course, I'll show you what I voted for towards the end of this video. But I did also look, there are no badges that are part of either of these festival playlists, so it really should, in my opinion at least, come down to what the car rewards are. And that can look different for people. What are you missing? Which cars do you just really like? Everybody votes for different reasons, and that's again why I want to hear from you in the comment section. Just let us know, how do you make your decisions on the voting and even in the backstage, because that does tie into this a little bit, and you're going to see why here today. But now that we got the commentary part out of the way here, let's talk about the rewards for German Automotive versus Donut Media. And we'll start with Donut. The series rewards are the 2024 Nissan Z NISMO, which is a true exclusive, even though I don't think it's as good as the 2023 Nissan Z. But then also, the Mazda MX5 Miata RF. Did anyone just get a red flag hearing that? It's in the backstage, boys. But that seems to be the theme with both sides of the rewards for the festival playlist. There are 3 cars for German and Donut that are in the backstage. And I actually did want to just talk about that quick. I think that they seem to be doing that consistently because they want to give people a chance to determine, do they want to use a pass or do they just want to unlock it for free from the playlist? Because you got to keep in mind, the backstage was introduced before PlayStation 5 even got this game. So it's impossible for them to have enough backstage passes to get all the cars that are in the backstage. So that's the only reason I can think of that justifies why we see cars in the backstage and also in these returning festival playlists. But anyways, let's go to the German Automotive series rewards. And that would be the AMG E63 S, the Brabus customization. Another red flag. That car literally just went into the backstage. The other car though is a good one, the Porsche 911 Gunther Werks. A car I've seen a lot of people talk about, a really good car. But based on just the series rewards, I feel like it's kind of tied, right? Like Donut versus German. I think it could go either way, but we still have to talk about the season rewards. 20 points for each of the 4 weeks. And of course, as always, 40 points, regardless, is always going to be a Horizon Backstage Pass. That should not ever change. But in Donut, we have the Lynk & Co. number 100 Racing 03. Then we have the Subaru BRAT, which is a phenomenal car. But then we have 2 more backstage cars. The MG number 20 MG6 Xpower, and also the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe station wagon. So those are all the cars for Donut Media. But now we got to talk about the season rewards for German Automotive. And the first one is the 911 RS 4.0. It has been available a few times in the past, but that's a pretty good first reward. But then of course we have a couple backstage cars. Good ones though. The 2015 AMG GTS, and then also the 2021 Porsche 911 GT3, which if you remember, I told you should not have won that backstage vote because next to it was a wheel spin car. I digress. The final car though is a great one of my favorites, the 2018 Audi RS4 Avant. Now when you compare the cars in Donut and German, to me at least, this is easy. This is a no-brainer. What did I vote for? What did 70% of Stream Chat vote for? German Automotive. But you know what? A majority also voted for the Back to the 90s, the last series. So you have to keep in mind the one thing that I want to point out that I think people don't realize. Regardless of what you see on social media and what seems to be the favorite, there are so many people that play this game. We're talking over 50 million. I have no idea what the percentages are, but a huge population from the player base of this game does not pay attention to social media. They're not going to see this video unless you start sharing it around to all your friends, because that will help. Also, if you smash that like button to help support the video. But they're not even going to probably look to see what the car rewards are. Some of them are just going to see Donut Media, and they're going to love that YouTube channel. Rest in peace, by the way. And then others will see that Porsche, the shiny Porsche, on the German Automotive tab, and that's what they're going to go with. Other people probably did view the festival playlist history and saw the rewards there, but if you look back at those, you'll notice the rewards do not line up perfectly with what they're doing when they bring these playlists back. And that's why you don't just want to look at that. It does give you some indication, and some of it will be the same, but with the backstage passes and the votes and how they just keep changing things, it's not what you should rely on. But now you have all the details. Let me know in the comment section what you're going to vote for and the reason why, if you feel like including that. I hope we end up seeing German Automotive, but you never know. We'll see what happens in a couple weeks. And another thing that I would love to see is percentages for not only the festival playlist vote, but also the backstage vote. They did have that in Horizon 4, the previous title. I'm not really sure why they took it out. So drop it in the comments. Would you like to see that? Any of your other thoughts and opinions about playlist voting and backstage voting? As always, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Okay, bye.